to the Downright Upright Show, the place to go to hear out loud and proud what people like you are thinking. And I'm your host, Philip Anthony, and I'm here every Saturday at 5 p.m. Central on AM 950, the Progressive Voice of Minnesota. And I hope everyone out there is doing fantabulous, because fantabulous is fantastic and fabulous put together twice as nice. And I feel fantabulous because I have an amazing guest today who wrote this amazing book. And we're going to talk about that today and other things. So my special guest today is licensed psychologist, life coach, and author Tom Glaser. And Tom is the author of the book, The House That Resilience Built, a psychologist's approach to healing childhood trauma. Tom also released a popular audiobook entitled Full Heart Living, Conversations with the Happiest People I Know. I love that title. Maybe you could talk about it later.
Sure. Can I just say it's not just an audiobook? It's also
It
hard
is?
copy
Oh,
too.
okay, because I did my legwork and it said audiobook, so maybe,
And
See?
ebook. I mean, the whole thing, right?
See, I don't know everything, folks. So, and and also, Tom is an LGBT member as part of the community and advocate, of course. So I'd like to welcome you to the Downright Upright Show, Tom.
Thank you, Philip. I appreciate being here. It makes me feel fantabulous.
You look fantabulous.
Oh,
You have the greatest. He has the greatest light around him. He's just such a pleasure. Today he came in the room. I was just with this big smile on his face. He's just amazing. I'm going to read something before we start the show, because there's a synopsis about your book. I'm going to read the title again so everyone out there doesn't forget it, and we'll put it in our description of the show. But it's called The House That Resilience Built, a psychologist's approach to healing childhood trauma. And it says, we are all born with resilience, the quiet force that helps us rise after life knocks us down. But trauma can shatter that foundation, leaving us silent, disconnected, and unsure of how to move forward. With 4 decades of experience as a licensed psychologist, Tom Glaser, MSLP, don't forget the letters, offers a compelling blend of
credentials are hard come by. So
of course,
thank you for including them.
Go for it. I would embrace that. Yes. Offers a compelling blend of clinical insight and personal childhood trauma memoir that illustrates how healing truly happens. From a childhood shaped by bullying,
no surprise,
and emotional abuse, to a career dedicated to helping others, he reveals how therapy helped him rediscover his voice, rebuild his inner world, and reconnect the purpose. Oh my goodness. Tom.
It sounds pretty good. I haven't read that myself in months, so
you haven't?
It's something.
Well, that's the review of your book. So I wanted to get that out there, because having the idea of what the book is about is my audience is already captured, I think. So, but before we get into the book and your LGBT journey and trauma and all of those questions, I like to start my show with asking the guest about their background. So can you tell us where you were born, raised, educated, or anything else you want to share with the audience?
Yeah, sure. I was born in Detroit, Michigan.
Oh, wow.
Grew up outside of Detroit, and undergrad at Western Michigan in Kalamazoo. Yes, there really is a Kalamazoo. Came to Minnesota for graduate school. And basically never left, essentially. Yeah, I fell in love, especially with the Twin Cities. I love it here. The lakes, and the people are active and happy and progressive, and the social services are so good here. All the values really spoke to me.
Yes.
And so I'm just thrilled to be a Minnesotan, particularly after the response to Metro Surge. Who couldn't be prouder of what we have done? I was gone for most of that. Actually, I was out of state, but cheering from beyond and continuing to help clients through that. By the way, that was the hardest time of my professional career.
I could imagine.
The distress was off the charts. Unbelievable. Yeah, the vicarious trauma was the worst I've ever experienced. So it's really, really serious, and I'm just thrilled with how Minnesota has come through.
Yeah, and the Supreme Court was like, I have to say this.
Hmm.
They were complicit in this because they said it was okay to racially profile people.
Oh, it's just
They said that.
disgusting.
How can that be legal
I
to
don't know
me? And
about
there's
that,
and
but
they're the, I don't know. And they're the court.
mhm.
This is a court, the Supreme Court.
It's shocking.
It is
I
shocking.
don't get it.
And that's why
Can't.
I'm sure you've had many people of color and
Yes.
LGBTQ people
Yes.
who are just stressed out through this whole
Oh my
period.
God. Yes.
So
Yes.
if you want to talk about that later, that would be
Sure.
amazing. But so my obvious question,
Mm.
and I'm sure my listeners would like to know, what is the house that resilience built? I'm going to refer to it as that title,
Sure.
the shorter version. About what is it about the book?
Well, the core chapters are composite case studies. So I take the reader through key moments in trauma therapy. So what really helps a client rediscover and reclaim their innate resilience? The first couple chapters are my own story, so the reader knows, my own investment in the topic. I don't come by this stuff at arm's distance. I'm a survivor of childhood trauma myself, and
Is that why I love you? Because we relate to each other,
right,
like
it's
on
just
that
like
level.
that's
Yeah,
the thing. That's the thing. There's like a heart to heart
yeah,
resonance that people feel. And even when clients don't know my story, I can tell they feel that I get it so deeply with like they don't have to say very much. And
exactly.
I get it really deeply. And that begins the healing right there,
Yes.
right there.
That's what I have to go out on a
Please,
tangerine here
please.
for a
Yeah.
second.
A tangerine.
A
Yeah.
tangerine, because I've heard my trans friends are telling me that they feel comfortable when they speak to someone who is trans about their journey because they feel they could relate. Now, you and I, being gay men who went through the same trauma, I mean, all the gay men out there, whether they're young, older, and if they experience that kind of trauma, would love to have you talk to them because they'd feel at home with you. Does that
Yes.
make sense?
Safety. Safety is
Oh my
huge.
God. Yeah.
And being understood.
Yes.
The word I love is attuned. People need attunement to heal from whatever the psychological wound is. What does attunement mean?
Mhm.
It means that heart to heart connection. It means compassion, empathy, really being there with you, non judgmentally, listening deeply, and being moved by your story.
Right, right, right. And
That's
I
the foundation. That's the basis.
and when did go to therapy
Yeah.
back in the day,
Yeah.
uh, the psychiatrist was not a LGBT person,
Right.
but knew my mom very well,
Mhm.
and that helped because I think he knew that this kid. My mother told him everything. This kid needs deep therapy, because I really did not like myself a lot, Tom. It was
That's what happens.
awful.
That's what happens to childhood trauma survivors, particularly repeat trauma.
Yes,
We
every
learn,
daily trauma.
yes, yes.
Yes.
So we learn that there's something wrong with us. We come to believe that really deeply. We believe that we are to blame. It's
Mhm.
extremely common. It's not true, but it's a belief that gets programmed. Kind of a metaphor I like to use. It's like, when we eat an apple, we got to eat it one bite at a time, right? We chew it slowly, carefully, and then swallow. Well, trauma is like an apple being forced down our throat. And beliefs get instilled very deeply, so deeply that we're often not even aware that we believe something that's untrue. It's just like taken for granted. We're not, it becomes unconscious. And this is where love comes in, and I do use the word love. Um, it's part of that attunement I was talking about earlier.
Mhm.
So when the person feels heard and safe, and then eventually, slowly, that belief comes out. And then slowly we can take a look at it. Is that really true? Are there exceptions to that belief?
Mhm.
Was I to blame? Am I likable? Do I have something to offer?
Yeah. I'm gonna go out on another tangerine here
A lot
because
of tangerines
there's a
coming up
lot
to,
that's
yeah.
gonna
Yes.
where did that title come from, and why did you use that word?
Well, the title actually arose from an actual dream that I had, Philip.
Oh, really?
Yes. Yeah. So I was experiencing dreaded writer's block big time at one point. And I invited a friend over because I knew if I just talked about what I was stuck with, I would probably get through it. The night before, my friend Nancy was going to show up. There's a different name for her in the book because everyone's name is
Sure.
protected.
I'm reading another book
Yeah.
somebody wrote about, and you have to protect the innocent, I guess is
Yes.
the term. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I had this dream before Nancy came over of my childhood home. And the childhood home was bombed out. Like there were pieces were missing, and the landscaping was all screwed up, like it had been bombed. And but this whole crew of volunteers, my friends, uh, showed up with like ladders and work vests and tools, and they were surrounding the place and me to help me rebuild my childhood home. So what does this represent? It's kind of obvious, right? Here's my childhood trauma showing up, and how I
Responded to,
overcame it
yeah.
was by gathering people around me through community, through connection.
Mhm.
So that's the house part. You asked about resilience itself. So resilience is how we bounce back from challenge or adversity. And I just really wanted to highlight that we have, all of us are born to be human is to be resilient. We all have an innate resilience inside of us, and it's just a matter of uncovering it, and that happens through connection.
What are the healthier forms of a trauma response? For example, if like what we went through, what would you suggest listeners out there take from that? Like, what would you say would be a healthy trauma response if they're going through anything similar to what we're talking about right now?
Yeah, well, first I want to say that people are very familiar now with the term post-traumatic stress,
Yes.
or post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD.
They use that a lot about war, people that come back
Right,
from war.
right.
Yes.
And we have since learned that there's other kinds of trauma,
Yes.
such as these childhood events that you and I are talking about, create the same internal or very, very similar internal response. So another way to look at this is post-traumatic growth. So how can we grow from these very difficult experiences? How can we become better people, Philip? And I believe that is true with me. I'm sure it's true of you, even without knowing you very well at all, that there are ways that you have used these horrible experiences that we wouldn't wish on anybody else. And it would be better if they didn't happen at all. And prevention is the best. And they did happen. We can't deny it. We can't change that. So how can we utilize it? Starts usually with the self. So we repair ourselves. But then how do we use it? How can we help other people? How can we become a better person? Can we become more loving?
How could a lay person help another person?
Oh my gosh, just by being there.
Being there for them.
Absolutely. Just love them. That's it.
Love them up.
Love them up. Just be you and let them be them. Now, and when I say that, I don't mean that we let people get away with, behaviors that hurt other people. So sometimes we call this idiot compassion, right? I love that term. Like,
never heard that one.
Oh, you're a sexual abuse survivor yourself, so of course you're going to sexually abuse other children. No, we're not going to say that. No, it's not okay. You must stop that behavior. I'm just using an extreme example.
Oh boy,
so it's okay to hold people to a standard of kindness and goodness. So that's true compassion, is when we say this behavior is not great. Can we work on it together? Also, so that's part of love. That's part of being loving, is holding each other accountable to a behavior that's in alignment with our values.
Right. Now, I think that people out there who went through, I mean, it doesn't have to necessarily be physical trauma.
Correct.
Mental is really bad. I mean, I had a combination of both. I was told many things about myself that, I mean, to this day, I cringe. I mean, it's hard to talk about.
I get it.
And so, what would a person? We have an hour, a minute and 42 seconds in a short period of time. What would you suggest that an ally or a friend of a person that went through that trauma can do, other than, I love you and I'll be there for you? But is there any other way you would suggest?
Well, if the person volunteers, if they talk about it, if they say, I'm still struggling with
me to help
with this belief, yes, you let them lead. You don't offer.
Yes, that's what I meant to ask you.
Yes.
Never just impose yourself.
No, absolutely not. But if they say, gosh, I'm still struggling with this, you can counter it. Well,
what can I do?
Yeah, ask them, what can I do? And you can say, no, here's what I know of you. You're not this horrible, awful being. Here's examples of when you have been kind to me. Here, I've seen you be kind to strangers.
Right.
So you can point out the exceptions.
Yes.
To the faulty belief.
Yeah. Well, when we come back from the commercial, I want to talk about how we can relate this to LGBT trauma, and in our case, because this is an LGBT focused show, and I'm sure there's people out there that are holding on for dear life to get through this.
Sadly, it's so common. So yeah, let's do that.
Anyway, this is Philip Anthony, and this is the Downright Upright Show. We'll be right back after these brief messages. welcome back to the Downright Upright Show. My name is Philip Anthony. I'm here with Tom Glaser, who wrote this amazing book, The House That Resilience Built. And wow, this book is heavy, but it's going to be so helpful to everyone out there that even mildly had trauma as a child or even as an adult. So
there is heaviness in it, of course. I will tell you, I'm careful with how I present things to, as best I can, avoid vicarious traumatization. And the emphasis is on resilience. So these are all hopeful.
That's why the title has that
hopeful.
name.
It's ultimately very hopeful stories, which is why I wanted to.
Perfect. That's why I asked you about that word, because resilience means trying to overcome, to navigate life through that trauma.
Yes. And I wanted to instill hope. That's a huge reason
Beautiful
I wrote
word.
this book.
Thank you, Tom.
Yeah, and provide some solace to those are the two things I always say to people. I hope this book provides solace and instills hope.
Yes. Well, now I didn't plan on doing this.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell the folks out there, because Tom and I discussed this at the break, that we were going to get a little personal here. So I don't think I've ever gone this personal on the show.
Okay.
Might have, but I touched upon it. May have not discussed it in depth. But my stepfather was very abusive to my mom, physically and mentally, and me physically and mentally, not sexually, but that doesn't mean that it wasn't trauma. Correct. I want people to realize that, trauma can be different. A lot of it could be words.
That's another point of this book is to expand people's understanding of what trauma is.
Yes. And I had a neighbor tell me, we told you during the break, who lived next door, who was a friend of my mom's, who said that she remembers when I was a young boy, maybe 7 or 8 at the time, it was 0 degrees outside, and I didn't want to go in the house because he was there. And my mother used to get home from work after 5, like 5:30-ish, and he was home like 3, 2:30, kind of earlier than her. And so I'd sometimes just sit outside, even if it was freezing, just not to go in the house.
Without a coat. It's such an image, Philip, and a metaphor. It's a literal occurrence. We know this from your neighbor's account. And it speaks to your lack of protection and how cold the household was, right? It's on both levels, and it's chilling to hear. And I'm so sorry that happened to you.
Well, but she told me this, and I'm like, are you sure? Because I don't remember this. So I'm thinking I may have totally blocked it out.
Right,
because,
that's what happens.
That's what you do. You block out trauma.
Yes, some of it.
Sometimes,
right? And sometimes all of it, right? It varies with different people.
Uh-huh.
And this is a survival mechanism, right? It's wired within us so that we can survive. So we forget because trauma is an overwhelming experience. We're completely flooded with sensation. It's too much for our system to take in all at once, like that apple metaphor
being forced down your throat.
Yes.
But so other things that happened were like, I took a shower one day and I was home in the house alone with him, and what kids do. I mean, it was like 8, 9, 10 years old. I don't remember, but I had left the shower curtain out of the bathtub by mistake.
Yeah.
And the water was coming out.
Yeah.
So it was like pooling up in the bathroom, and he came in like a maniac and started wailing on me in the bathtub, and my ears started to bleed.
Jeez.
So when I got home, my mother's like, "What's the matter?" What? Because I said, "My head hurts, my ears hurt." And she said, "We're going to go to the doctor," and I didn't tell her that had happened, just because I was afraid I'd get it 10 times worse.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Imagine.
It's, again, a smart survival mechanism. You knew, even at such a young age.
Yeah. I did so much to avoid him. I tried my best, Tom.
Brilliant. Yes. That's great.
Avoidance sometimes saves your life.
Exactly.
And being in the car, I told you the story, he would drive 100 miles an hour, crazy on the highway, weaving in and out. And I'm crying, scream, please. Well, so you're going to die. You're going to die anyway. And all this terrible stuff. And I was a little kid, and I never told my only time my mom knew anything was when he did it in front of her. And then one time she threw a glass at him because he hit me so hard,
Jeez,
and then they started fighting, and yeah, it was just bad.
that's
I'm gonna
horrible.
kill you, Philip,
It's
and all these
disgusting.
things. You know, it was really bad. So,
Disgusting. So one of the things I tell clients
mhm.
is, you weren't crazy, he was.
Oh yeah, now I know that,
Yeah, right.
but I
Right.
didn't know it at the time.
No, exactly. But that's part of the healing, is hearing people. And you asked earlier, what could a friend say? That's an example
Right.
right there. You weren't crazy, he was.
But I still have remnants of the trauma because
Mhm.
recently, and I think I told you this before we started the show, somebody gave me a compliment.
Yes.
You know, I was wearing a blue shirt. I remember something about the blue shirt, and my hair was all nice and groomed. Oh, Philip, you look so handsome today, and was started to almost shake and put my head down
Yeah.
in a like, no, please kind of response. And I haven't responded that way in a long time.
Yep.
I usually go, oh, thanks.
Yes.
You know, even though that's probably not the way to do it, but you know, it's just my way of please don't
Yeah,
keep doing that.
that's
You
a
know,
trauma response.
yeah.
It's just a trauma response that we react to something that um, actually may not be happening in the actual immediate moment. We're responding to something in the
Now you've
past.
had clients, I'm sure that you've helped that kind of experience similar trauma.
Of course.
And you had some trauma yourself. Do you
Correct.
want to share any either your personal
Sure.
journey or some
Yeah.
client who, of course, you're going to change the name,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
who experienced maybe similar
Yeah.
LGBT? Because
Totally.
he called me the F bomb all the time, and I don't mean the FU, like it's the gay
Yes.
term that
Yeah.
you would call a gay person.
Yeah. Is it okay to say that word aloud?
I don't think
Yeah.
so.
Oh, okay. Great.
It
Great.
starts with an F,
Let's not.
starts with the
Three
second
three
letter A.
letters.
Yeah,
Yeah. That
yeah,
that
yeah.
word was written on my locker
Oh yeah.
all the
Oh
time,
my God, I was called that
repeatedly.
my whole life.
Yeah, me
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Out loud in crowded hallways. It's just humiliating.
It's horrible.
Humiliating.
Yes. Mary, honey,
Mm,
sweetie,
mhm.
all these degrading terms. I mean,
It's
and they don't mean it in a nice way,
No, no, no,
you
no, no.
know.
It's the tone of voice.
Yeah.
It's the
And the
tone of
Q
voice.
word that used to
Yep,
well, the
yep.
kids of today embraced that word. They took it
Yes,
back and
yes.
they embraced it. Say, I'm queer, I'm proud of it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We as older gay men probably still shudder a little bit from that
Oh,
word.
I've reclaimed that word. The Q word, the queer word. I love that word.
Uh,
That works for me. The F word still, right? That one
that
still
one
kind
still,
of
yeah, for some
gets
reason.
me.
Anyway, I interrupted
No,
you.
you're fine. And then, yeah, so that was a regular occurrence in school starting in the seventh grade. And the seventh grade was the worst. It got a little easier every year after that through 12th grade.
Before that, it was
And
okay.
kids liked me before that.
Really?
School
Okay.
was fine, and teachers liked me before. Well, teachers always liked me, but I didn't have trouble with peers before seventh grade. Junior high, it got just so bad.
Oh,
Seventh grade, horrible, horrible, horrible. And then at home,
was it a different school
yes.
with different kids?
Yeah. So elementary was a much smaller school, and then we went to junior high where there was a bunch of elementary schools that came together. So much bigger.
Mhm.
Yeah, very different.
And do you want to share some of that, or maybe to share about a client that was similar to
Well,
that?
and then so I said what, like, being called the F word and having it written on my locker, and I never felt safe then. I just wanted to disappear
Hmm. That's
at
bad
school
enough, more
again.
than the physical sometimes.
Well, and I was threatened that I was going to get beat up. I never got physically
Thank
touched, but
God.
I was.
Yeah.
I know, totally. But the threat is enough. But
Of
it's like
course.
in a ways, people. I've heard people say it might be worse because you never know when it's coming,
Yes.
and um, if there's something physical that's very, very concrete, you absolutely know that it happened. But verbal, we're told sticks and stones may hurt my bones, but words can never hurt me. That kind of stuff.
Hmm.
And then the compounding the situation for me was at home, where in so many ways I had a really good family. My parents remained married their whole lives. We were not well off, but stable financially in the same
Sure.
house from kindergarten on. So from outward appearances, everything appeared great. But behind closed doors, my mom had, I call her a rageaholic. She had a horrible sleep problem, so she didn't sleep well at night, and and you never knew, like the same infraction, one day she might laugh about it, or it could be nothing. Or if you put one dish in the wrong place on another day, she could explode and attack you and call us names. And I was called names by my mom. And when your parent, your mom, calls you horrible names, you, as a child, you tend to believe it. It must be true. I must be horrible.
Mm-hmm.
So the double whammy for me, and the confusion of the household where it seemed so great, and there were many good things, and these awful crazy times that were never talked about. That's the other thing. There was never a repair. There was never an apology. Everything was our fault. And then I tried to become really good, right? If I just keep my room clean and put the dishes back right, maybe things will be okay. No, I could never do it enough, because she was going to explode at something. She would find something to explode. So these are the kinds of things that happened to me. And so I personally know really deeply what it's like.
Did you have a safe friend, like a growing up, or a buddy or somebody that you felt comfortable with, that helped you through that time? Like that you would call, like today, a brother, or somebody had your back?
Well, I was so ashamed. I didn't talk about any of the household stuff or the school stuff. I didn't know to go to a principal or a vice principal or a teacher. All I knew was to ignore it.
Yeah.
And that's what was taught in the house. You just ignore it. You go on, you pretend like nothing happened. So that's all I knew to do. So I didn't have a confidant in that way. That said, my dad's mom, so my paternal grandmother, was the epitome of unconditional love to me. So she was really the first.
That's funny, because I had the same. My paternal grandmother was my life. I loved her. They saw a gay boy and they couldn't deal that,
Yes,
with
and
me as a human being.
and it's terrible, because, and I can relate, then we learn that there's something wrong with men or boys, right? But we're a man or boy, so there must be something wrong with me, right? It just does this whole head thing. It's so difficult.
This is another question. See, I'm going
Yeah.
off on another tangerine.
Okay, got another tangerine coming.
It's a bushel. Do you think this hatred behavior that some kids exhibit is taught from their up with such horrible
It's all learned.
ideas?
People do not come into the world as bigots, as bullies. No,
No,
it's
I don't think
absolutely learned.
anybody
No,
could be so mean like that.
no. You see young children playing together. Nothing matter. Race doesn't matter. Clothing doesn't. Nothing matter. They're just kids, people playing together.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's conditioning. It's absolutely learned. There's no doubt in my mind. Yes.
Okay. So this is such a heavy conversation, and
Should we bring some lightness in?
Could we do? Well, that's what I was going to get at.
Yeah.
I want to shine a big, beautiful light on this.
Yeah.
How are we going to get out of this? So,
Yeah.
what do you hope to accomplish when somebody reads The House That Resilience Built?
Yeah.
What is your aim?
Yeah.
If you were shooting for a target, what is that?
Mm-hmm. You know what I want to say first? I'm going to answer your question.
Yes.
I think our conversation sort of parallels the therapy process, right?
Mm-hmm.
We do get to lightness in therapy. And in every session, I laugh with essentially every client, right?
I could see that about you.
Well, yeah, of course, right? Of course.
He had, by the way, folks, when you first meet Tom, he's just a big smile and so warm, and you just exude love,
Thank you.
And I'm not blowing smoke, because my folks know out there that I don't.
You're a truth teller.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
So yeah, sorry.
No
I had to interrupt you again.
No worries. So we have to acknowledge the darkness first if we're going to heal.
Yes.
So that does have to come first. I need to hear the person's story first. That's what they need from me. They got to tell me.
Mm-hmm.
And I need to hear it. And together, right, we need to be in communion, community.
Mm-hmm.
I need to be attuned, and we together go through the story, and then the lightness can come. So maybe that's part of why it feels heavy to you, because that's what needs to happen.
You're like a lighthouse in a storm, and the boat is trying to find the shore, and you're that light.
What a great metaphor. What a great
Could
metaphor.
that be it?
Yes. Yes.
Was that enlightening enough?
Absolutely. I love it.
Was that uplifting?
Yeah, I feel like we're lightening it as we speak, literally and metaphorically, Philip. Absolutely.
Yes. Well, I think you've accomplished that just writing this book, right? Because now when people know, wow, this book does have, there is a happy ending here.
Oh, absolutely. Every one of the clients, and they're composite case studies, by the way. So none of it is an actual person, but it's all based on actual things that have happened.
Okay, so I'm gonna. We have 2 minutes. Okay. I'm gonna do some of these lightning round questions.
Okay.
That you probably want me to ask you.
Okay.
If you had to distill the book into one word, what would it be?
Connection. Healing is about connecting. It doesn't happen alone, although we do have to connect with ourselves. But it starts with connecting with another person.
Networking.
Heart to heart.
Sure.
Heart to heart.
Yeah.
Finding someone safe who believes you, who you can trust.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
And can you give an example of a client's progress from the book? Somebody that progressed and did really well. Yes. Again, uplifting.
Yes. We
have a minute and a half, so just to give you an idea.
So I'm thinking of Trevor, who I wrote about in the book, who shares many of the things we were talking about being horribly bullied because of appearing effeminate. And so tons of trauma, and his parents took him to conversion camp. Horrible. He came through. He survived. Now, it took a lot. What I had to do with Trevor ultimately is threaten to stop seeing him. He was abusing alcohol, and he tried to give up. And we weren't making progress. So I finally had to say, Trevor, you're not making as much progress as you could, and you're not going to unless you can go free of this. I'll help you, but you need to go free of the alcohol. And otherwise, I can't ethically continue to see. I can't take your money if you're not getting better. He hated me for 3 weeks, wasn't going to come back, but he did come back because our connection was strong enough, and ultimately did go free of alcohol.
Wow.
And came through and has a family now and a son.
Yay.
Yes.
We ended this segment on a high, man.
Note.
Yay.
We did it.
I love it. Anyway, you're great. We have one more segment coming up, and this is the Downright Upright Show here on AM 950. We'll be right back. And welcome back to the Downright Upright Show here on AM 950. And I am here with the amazing, fantabulous Tom Glaser, who wrote an incredible book called The House That Resilience Built. And I would suggest all of you, wherever fine books are sold, let's say it like that.
Well, Amazon and Itasca, those are really the two places now.
Oh,
or Yoga Center Retreat, they're selling in hard copies.
Oh,
Yeah.
I have a friend that she's a sponsor here on AM 950. I could maybe suggest her
Oh,
carrying
great.
your book.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll reach out.
Great.
Anyway, so we were talking about this at the break. I wish the break was on the air because we have such interesting conversations on the break. We were talking about not bottling up anything,
Right.
because letting it out is freeing.
Yes.
I love that word, freeing.
Yes.
And when we talk about the LGBTQ plus community, the
Yes.
fact that we have pride is
Yes.
freeing.
Yes.
And I say that because during the year, we live and we try to navigate, prejudice and bigotry. But at Pride, people walk in despondent. And when they get past those balloons and those, whatever decorations they
Yep.
have,
Yep.
you notice they're like a tulip in the springtime.
Yeah. Great metaphor.
Do you ever see these kids coming in? I call them kids, but they're not actually kids. Some of them, anybody that's younger than me is a kid, right? But they
It's all
walk
relative.
in, Tom,
Yeah.
into the park,
Yes.
and they're like this coming in, and then they go, and their mouth opens up, their eyes open up. It's almost like, wow.
Because they feel safe.
Yes.
It's so important that we have safe spaces, particularly for those of us who are in historically underrepresented communities. We must have safe spaces. I experienced it first, the first March on Washington, the LGBTQ March on Washington. That's the first time I really, even though I had been
Can
to
I
Pride.
ask you what year that was?
Wasn't it in the 90s? It was the first one I went to. I think it was the second one. And to be in a space where I wasn't the only one. And I feel that in Palm Springs. I spend a lot of time in Palm Springs, California.
Which is probably one of the gayest places.
It's gayer than the Castro, as my friend from San Francisco, Avi, says. It's just, the queer thing is a non-issue, and it's delightful.
Yes.
So yes, that's why we have pride and why we continue to need pride.
Yeah. I have to tell you this. I think I've told this before on the air, but I'll repeat it because it's such a great story.
Yeah.
I was dating this girl it was 1979, so around there, the height of the disco era.
Yeah.
And we had a friend in our group, my girlfriend's friend.
Yeah.
We called him, quote unquote, different.
Yeah.
We didn't use the word gay because I didn't even know what gay really was. I didn't think there was a thing called gay. I heard the word, but I just thought it meant something else. But anyway, he goes to my girlfriend, there's a club in the village. I want you to come and meet me there. And it's really different. You'll love it. So Barbara says to me, named my girlfriend, let's go to this club. I said, okay. So we get there, right, Tom? And there's all these men shirtless dancing to disco music, really provocative songs. Like I remember there was a song called Push Push in the Bush at the time.
Jeez.
I mean, there was some, I know today that would be probably nothing, but there were crazy songs like that back, but it was all fun though.
Yeah.
It wasn't meant to be, So, and I was like, she's sitting on my lap and I'm like, I don't belong with her. That's when the light went off.
Wow, this is part of your coming out story.
That's my coming out story.
That is your coming out
I think
story.
I did talk about it. My listeners could remember or not, and I remember saying, I need to come back here, but alone.
Yeah.
And that's how I got pushed out of the closet, because what happened was I went there alone one time. I snuck on the subway to the club. And he was there, and he told my girlfriends that I was there, and that was it. So, what about you? What was your coming out kind of? Was it similar going to a club and
No, it was,
fell in love with someone or something? Or
I was with a woman. We were in graduate school together, and it was getting very serious. It was like,
really?
oh yeah, it was to
Wow.
the point where the natural next step would be to get engaged. And
Wow.
I was
Okay.
like
How old were you?
23.
Hmm.
And I was like, there's this thing I probably should tell her. So I came out to her as bisexual, thinking I at least need to tell her. And I don't identify as bisexual. I sort of identify as bisexual now, but I'm not a Kinsey 6. But that was the beginning of my coming out, just telling my girlfriend at the time. And then I realized I want to explore this. I at least want to know what would it be like to be with a man. And then I just slowly was like, yeah, that's more of a fit for me. That's where I need to go. So
When you talked about the Kinsey scale,
yeah,
because I remember growing up and hearing that a lot.
yeah,
And I don't know. Again, we haven't shared our ages to each other,
we're
but
very similar.
I think I would
Yeah,
say that. Yeah,
yeah,
kind of close.
yeah,
But I remember hearing that a lot.
yeah,
That there was this guy Kinsey, and he had a
yeah,
scale, and
yeah.
nobody's really, some people are 0, some people are 10,
Well,
most
it
people
went
are.
0 to 6 was the
Oh, was
continuum.
it
0 to
6?
6. That's
Oh,
why I said I'm not a Kinsey 6. So 6 would be considered 100%
gay.
homosexual. Yeah,
Right.
right. 0 would be 100% heterosexual, only attracted
0
to.
would be 100%. So where
Yeah.
would you fit, you think, now, if you wanted to be honest with yourself? What would you say?
Oh, 4-ish.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm 6 plus. I am. I mean, I tried the whole straight
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
I tried so hard.
yeah.
And I remember being a Catholic boy growing up.
Oh, me too. Geez, there's so many parallels.
Isn't
Okay.
that amazing?
Ooh, okay.
Going and, my mother used to come to the bedroom with me when I was little. I'd say my prayers and then I'd go to bed,
Yeah.
And I remember to myself, I didn't say it out loud, but I'd say, God, please, whatever's wrong with me right now, please do something about it. I want to please you.
You knew you were different.
Oh God,
Me
very
too.
different.
Me too. I knew I was different from an extremely young age.
Yes. And I
Absolutely.
kept saying, please, and that's trauma too, because when
Yes.
you have your own religion
That's the
telling you
thing. Yes.
that,
Spiritual abuse.
yeah,
It's spiritual. Your religion tells you you're bad, you're wrong, you're a sinner.
so
Yeah.
how important? There's another tangerine.
Yes.
What how important would you say it is when you belong to a religion, if you want to be, you identify as Christian, to go to a church that's welcoming, where you see the pride flag flying in front of the church? How amazing is that
I
to
think it's essential.
be an LGBTQ person and go to a church
Yes.
like that?
Yes. Yes. Incredibly healing.
Yeah,
Incredibly important.
because you were talking about the abuse that sometimes religion can.
Yes.
I went to the confessional and the priest was awful to me when I came out. I came out in the confession booth to him,
Oh gosh.
and it was not good.
Oh.
So, yeah. So
Mm.
it's really important for everybody. If you want to be spiritual and you feel a spiritual connection,
Yeah. Find
Go-
a community. Yes.
find community and be with people that have your back.
Yes.
Well, we have a minute left.
Okay.
I just want to thank you so much for being a guest on the show. You are amazing.
Thank you.
I hope that you can be my friend.
Yes, let's
I
do.
know. Well, I'm going to promote your book one more time.
Thank you.
It's called The House That Resilience Built, A Psychologist's Approach to Healing Childhood Trauma. Please go out and get this book. It's going to help you and help friends of yours. If you have friends of yours going through that and you want to just give this as a gift, I mean,
There's a chapter on how to respond if someone tells you they're a trauma survivor. And there's
well,
a chapter on how to look for a therapist. There's
Yeah.
a lot of resources in this book.
there you go. And do you have a website for the book that you want to share?
Tom Glaser LP, like licensepsychologist.com.
LP. Okay. Well, Tom, I adore you.
Oh,
You're amazing.
Mutual.
Yeah. We're going to be friends. And to my folks out there, thank you so much. Happy Pride. And we'll see you next week. Bye.